Už jedeme, červená, jedeme. Ale to nevadí, já to tam kotnu, jo?
Čau.
Počkej. Teď.
Čau.
Ahoj, jak se máš?
Mám se dobře.
Jo, takže hele, jdeme na to, jo. Po dlouhé době jsme si to jakože tak připravovali.
No, konečně.
No. A ty vole, my mluvíme česky.
Alright, let's say we start speaking English, so.
Dobře, ne? Dobře.
That's the original one. That's the original one.
Okay.
Let's keep it this way, bro.
Dobrý, já to tam kotnu, to se ne.
Of course.
Jasný, okay.
English, bro.
Yeah. Hi, Ladia, how are you?
Hi, Simon. I'm good. How are you?
That's good. Just for the backstory, we accidentally speak Czech again, but that's fine. That's all right.
That's fine.
Yeah. So we arranged this podcast for a really long time and we spoke about it. We had a big preparation. So this podcast will be about Antifa movement. I'm just gonna give you short brackets. It's gonna be good. So let's just start it. That's the best way. Ladia, where did you grow up?
Actually, I grew up in Czech Republic. In town Teplice, in the smaller part of Teplice, Prosetice, which is called like piggy stuff.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
In English, like because Prosetice is, if you hear the word itself, it's mean like pig.
Really?
Prase.
Okay, but, yeah, you're right.
Prosetice, it's mean like piggy place. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, fair enough.
So yeah. I grew up in the piggy place, but to be honest, that wasn't actually the very beginning. I actually moved there, after some time. I grew up in really demolition, in still Teplice, in the same town, just in different part. And it's actually difficult to speak about it, to be honest. When I think about it, I'm there,
Okay, that's good. Describe the place that you were growing up and maybe the situation that time, like how did you live?
Wow. Nothing to be really nice about it. It was just very dark place where was no even light in the corridor. In the main corridor, when
in a building, in a
hallway, yeah. When you go, yes, apartments.
So what was it like? I don't know.
It was an old house, but demolition. Total demolition.
Like it was supposed to be down. It's not supposed to stand, right?
Yes.
And you lived there.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. There was no toilet. Everything was just really broke down. So we were using actually buckets at that time. Yeah. For your needs. Yeah, that was like this. It was actually stairs. I remember it was 2 floors, kind of. It was still kept together, but by some miracle, I don't know how. But yeah, we survived over there.
Really? And what kind of neighbors you had? Like who lived there?
There actually, yes, there was people. There was people from a different culture, let's say a different nationality than we were.
All right.
But they was friendly, and there was like 2 families live with us in the same house, just a different, let's say, apartments in English. All right.
Yes. Okay.
But it wasn't apartments. It was a house, and there was rooms. All right. And in every different room was that was the house. Yeah. It was separate, kind of. There was like 3 rooms. One neighborhood, actually one family lived in one room.
Okay.
Second family, the second and third family in the third room,
So it was a house and each apartment was a room?
Yes.
Okay.
One room.
Okay.
Big room.
Okay, yes, fair enough.
That's it.
Fair enough, yes.
There was kitchen, living room, everything.
Everything in one room.
In one room.
So it was like a studio.
Let's say, old one.
Yes, okay. And where did you go to school?
From the very beginning, it was actually just not far from the house. It was in the part of Trnovany. So, but that was only shortly there. Let's say not even 1 year. Because like I told you before, after that, shortly, let's say after 6-7 years, when I was around 7, first 6-7,
Okay.
when the first class started, I was just, let's say, 8 months there, and then we moved in the Prosetice part, the piggy part.
The piggy part, fair enough.
Yes.
Ladya, I know I sound like a really boring, it's really, but we have to go through it.
All right.
Okay, so tell me, you told me like before, like when start the Antifa movement, and I just mentioned school because when we spoke before previously, you just mentioned, man, Simon, we were like heavy punk,
Yeah, that was
and we
this
were
part.
like super Antifa and fighting and neo-Nazis, like, so when it started, like?
That started actually after, let's say, 5 years, we moved into the Prosetice.
And you were still in that school?
No. That was the other school. We moved from this part of Trnovany. Around, I was 7-8 years old, and to this part, Prosetice. There was the another school, still primary school. It was like second class, and there actually everything began. My childhood, like let's say when I was junior, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, around 10 years, 11, yeah.
So you were 11 years old and you were involving in Antifa movement
Yes,
at 11.
let's say.
How it looked like when you are 11 and you are like in Antifa movement? Describe it, like I cannot like imagine.
To be honest with you,
Like I want to picture this, like, you know, when you talk, just give me something. Come on, man, like.
to be honest with you, we as our group of people, we weren't kind of involved into some other group, but we were the group. Actually, when I started primary school in Prosetice, in 3rd class, I remember, I came with the mohawk to the school.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, I was very young.
And you were 13?
13 years.
Damn. And you were 13 and with the mohawk, like heavy, like punk, Antifa.
Punk, yeah.
Yeah. And did you have any problem with neo-Nazis, like skinheads? When you were 13?
That was actually the main enemy at that time. That was the other movements, not the punks or the anarchists, but it was the skinheads, neo-Nazis, let's say hooligans. That was also the other group, neo-Nazis groups.
And did you fight when you were 13 with each other? Or that started later?
It's already started in school. You know, there was many problems about my nationality, let's say. I was at the same time a Roma person. So, you know, I wasn't white.
Yeah.
And everyone see me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so people, I was very friendly, you know, with everyone, and let's say my pupils from school, they were just sometimes in trouble, and I was involved to help, and that was my actually main bread in school. To remove these guys. Part of them was skinheads, neo-Nazi guys.
What do you mean by remove?
Removed.
Come on, like
I did remove them away from that school.
You fight with them?
I fight with them, yes, daily. Till they left.
That's when you say remove. That's what you mean, like
Fight. Remove them. Yeah.
Damn.
Yes.
Okay. Just give me a minute, man.
Yes, remove them.
Okay. And did you had any problems with drugs? When did you start take drugs?
I wasn't from really beginning when I started to be a punk as a part of the Antifa. Let's say we were really strictly against the hard drugs. We were just drinking beer and smoke weed. All right, at that time, hard drugs was involved. Let's say 1 or 2 years after, when I actually started with this group, was fully in. And then I start actually deal with drugs. I start.
So you were 15 that time?
Let's say 14, 15. Yes.
14, 15.
Yes. That was my first actually experience.
Okay.
You know.
So, guys, this guy was like 15 and he was fighting like Nazis and was like drinking beer and was like not at home as well or something. Yeah. You were like a problem child?
Oh God. I was a damn rebel at that time.
All right. Man.
That was very bad.
Yes, yeah, I know, but like, okay, what kind of drugs did you start later? You say like 15, 15 you start with just beer and...
Beer, weed, yeah, at that time. And then the first experience with the hard drugs was this Parvitine, a crystal meth.
Crystal meth.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Man, that's expensive drug, and especially like in 90s, like in Czech Republic.
Let's say not really. There was many friends who did cook this drug.
Really?
In their own houses. So we got the fresh stuff, and we didn't need to buy anything because we were just friends. And sometimes one of these guys, which called in Czech language vařič,
a cooker.
The cooker.
Jesus, damn.
They sometimes visit us and bring their material.
Are some of them still cooking?
Maybe in prison.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, many of them are just dead, and some of them are in prison. And if some of them are free or outside of prison, they are last Mohicans, really.
Okay. So that's really, and you are 15, then we come to the darker things. You met your first wife.
Mm-hmm.
Her name was Jana.
Jana.
And you have 2 kids with her.
Yes, at that time, yeah.
Look, Claudia, you have 2 kids with her and you were addicted on crystal meth.
Mm-hmm.
How did you manage to get drugs, raise kids, and all that stuff that normal family is supposed to do and you didn't? What did you do that time?
What did I do that time? I just did live my life, and this was a part of it. So I just took it. I just was a father, just a little bit different father, but still father, It wasn't new to me. I was actually still a boy, But it was nice, and I was proud of it at that time. But just the relationship doesn't go the way I like it,
Okay.
There are also different
What year,
things happen.
What year did you meet Jana?
Oh, Jana I met in my 15th years old.
Okay. So you were 15.
Yes.
And how old was she?
She was older, around 3 or 4 years older than me.
So she was 19.
18, let's say.
18,
Yeah.
okay. And you have 2 kids with her.
Yes.
And how did you end up to be on crystal meth? Like your first experience, who came with that idea?
To be really honest to you, unexpectedly it came from my friend who did at that time Roman's řecko-římský zápasy in Czech language.
Greco-Romanian wrestling?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And he was a meister in Czech Republic. All right. So unexpectedly, he was a sport man. He never tried any drugs or anything. He was a really example.
Okay.
By the way, he was from the movement of the skinheads, the Nazi ones. Then he just swapped. He just jumped from the group to the other group to our side.
So he was Antifa?
Yeah.
Okay.
But to be honest, I don't know what's happened over there. And one day he just keep doing the stuff, the crystal meth, and he visited me a lot.
And you were 15?
Yeah, they all visit me, there was visiting me hundreds of people. Sometimes there was no another place to just visit me. So the people was just sitting down into the corridor to the 5th floor, by the way. So there was really many people, many people, and one of them, Lucas, his name was, I won't say the second name, but the first name was Lucas.
Lucas.
Yes.
And he introduced you to crystal meth. And who introduced it to your wife?
Suddenly, it's a very sad story, by the way. Me.
You.
Me, yes. Me. I'm not proud of it, by the way.
Oh no, that's fine. But I'm just like, is she out of it now, or?
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely. She was out of it. Actually, when she started to be pregnant.
Good.
Yeah, with first pregnancy, when the boy was born out, so Jacob. So actually, when she found out she's pregnant, 2 or 3 months, 2 months I think.
Okay.
She just quit. She simply quit.
Does it have any effect on the kid?
No.
No.
Thank God. No. The kids are healthy. Son is adult right now, my daughter too. So yeah, later on after the son, my daughter also born, but that was after a very, very difficult situation and experience. I think you will find out.
I will find out.
You keep asking me.
What was the difficult situation?
The difficult situation I experienced was a prison.
Prison. I know we had a pre-talk, and under what circumstances you came to prison?
Wow, that's a really long story, to be honest, but I tried to make a long story short, all right, for us.
Oh,
kind of.
I just want more details, like,
all right.
I just want everything.
What you want to know, just say it.
Like, how did you end up in prison? For what have you been there?
I have done, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, I have done lots of things, Simon.
Naughty.
I'm not sure if I can actually speak about it like this.
Some of it, probably, you can tell us.
Yeah. I think, those things I was for it in prison. Yeah, why not? I was just punished enough, I think. All right. To be fair enough, I did all these things. You can just imagine. I was stealing, fighting with people, mostly.
Yes.
Destroying stuff around me. Demolitions. Everything became a demolition. Yeah.
And you are with Jana, you are 15, and did you go to any demonstrations that time?
Yes, lots of demonstrations, lots of them.
Do you remember any name of one demonstration?
Yeah, lots of them, mostly was against racism and Nazism in Czech Republic, generally. There was lots of these members of Nazi skinheads.
Neo-Nazis?
Yes, and they were tough guys at that time.
Obviously, yes.
They was kind of organized themselves, and there was very difficult enemies, very tough.
I see.
It was in Teplice, but that was also around the other towns in Teplice, around Ústí, Plzeň, everywhere.
So,
in Czech Republic.
The north of Bohemia.
Yes.
Right, all the north region.
Yes.
Okay.
It was full of them.
Did they have a support from Germany?
Yes.
They did?
Yes, of course. Also from Slovakia, Poland, everywhere.
And what was your support?
Our support was also all around, all the towns like Děčín, Ústí, what was, in neighborhood.
Any foreigners came to help you as well?
Yes, of course.
You mentioned there was like a lot of Yugoslavians.
Yes,
that time.
refugees at that time.
Yeah.
Though they also was members of our, let's say, these demonstrations, groups, and it was really, really big. There was days when there was gathering around 800 neo-Nazi skinheads.
800 neo-Nazi organized.
They came from everywhere.
Everywhere.
You know.
And how many were in your group?
There was around 400 or 500 members.
400 or 500 members.
Yeah, at that time.
That time.
Yes.
Did it any fights between both of you, between both two sides?
That was story after story. We fight all the time with them. It was actually dangerous just to walk in town, you know, without covering each other. So it was actually difficult times, same times. There was no phone and stuff like in these days.
I see. How did you see? What did you see? How did you see any extreme violence in that fight?
Yes, of course.
Describe me.
There was an action, for example, when the skinheads from the neighborhood named Bystrany came into our region in Prosecice and start attacking small kids, you know, and people around, like Roma people, punks and anarchist brothers and sisters at that time, you know. So we start revenge, of course. I start looking for people, I mean more people than we were at the time, and we just go and revenge. That was really powerful story, yeah.
So some of the neo-Nazi attack one of member of your own, and you organize a revenge attack.
Yes.
That's how it looks. How the fight looks like? Did you see any blood, violence?
Of course, there was a lot of violence.
Describe me some.
You saw like
again. Describe.
Like we were like, for example, just go against them, and you saw group of these neo-Nazis just appearing against us and shouting who and who lay guns, and they just really really
just guys,
powerful,
imagine,
you know?
like there is like 800 people screaming this thing.
Yes,
that's mad.
That's mad. And you know, we were just still go against them and fight. You know, we were really running after them. We were no scared, like we were no afraid of them. So we were really fight, and that was tough fights. You see, like ear rip it out, blood,
ear rip it out.
Yes, rip it out. Just rip it out.
Okay.
With the chain or whatever. You know, you hurt really. You know, fist on fist on the head, everything. There was like, you know, baseball stuff, everything. It was just really fight. There was a guards involved, you know, police.
Like a police?
Police. They also fight with us. And suddenly they just stay with them mostly. With this side, you know.
So the police was sided?
Kind of. Yeah, to be honest. In Czech Republic it is like that. When these skinheads appear and they do problems, they have no really difficulty with police. But the other groups, yes, you know. So yeah, sometimes I think they just hold with them because of they have maybe same opinions in some places, you know. Was
the ambulance involved, like any serious damage?
Of course, all the time.
All the time?
All the time.
Any deaths or?
To be honest, not deaths, but really serious stuff, you know. Really broken ribs, everything like this, you know, legs, hands, necks, you know, skull, and all these things. People was unconscious, you know.
Unconscious people?
Yes. 5% to survive.
5% to survive?
Some of them.
I just wanna, from this fight, you end up in a hospital yourself. And you are like really low percentage of survival.
At that time, yes. That was actually, I just find myself in hospital, you know, all the drapes and all these things. And I just find out I was smashed. And it wasn't easy, you know.
How did it happen?
If you are in the middle of fight, you know, it's happened very easy.
Yes.
You know, you don't even know where it's come from. You know, it's everyone fight everyone. You know.
Yes.
You have no time to recognize who is who. You just know that you have to survive. You know.
Yes, that's.
The police try to to hold both sides, with the back, you see like the pressure, you stay two lanes, each other just make a pressure.
Yes. They had like shields,
yes,
horses,
dogs, everything.
Horses,
yes,
dogs,
all this
right?
story,
All
man.
that.
Yes.
Man, that's crazy.
It's like from the movie, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how did you wake up like in a hospital? What was your first idea? Came you like that's like you wake up in a hospital and how? Like what was in your head?
In my head, where is my beer?
No way. Where is my beer?
Where is my beer? Like, Yeah, we were lots of drinking as well at that time, heavy drinking, pubs, concerts, all these things. So, yeah, I was actually really heavy drinker at that time, all these guys.
Yes. And you went to prison for all these things that kind of like happen, that you are kind of like involved.
Yes.
Because some of them were really nasty, to be honest with you. And it was dark time, to be honest with you. Describe me how it is like in a Czech prison.
In Czech prison?
The system, everything, tell me. Just Czech prison.
At that time, the prison in the part of town I was live, it was new prison. All right, they built up new prison there. Vazební věznice Teplice in Czech language. So that was actually new, clean prison, but the system there was very tough. These guardsmen, there was just kind of very aggressive guys. They was very tough on us. Some of us was the first time in prison,
Were they bullies, like the officers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of them they have their own problems, in home, and I think they just brought it into the work, and we just have it, So, for example, you were sleeping through the day. You couldn't use a blanket at that time. You could just lie down on the bed, but you couldn't cover yourself, and they watch, of course.
During the night you could not cover yourself?
No, during the night you could, but let's say after lunch you want to just rest, and you could just lie down on the bed, and but you couldn't cover yourself by the blanket, just lie down, that's it.
Who make it the prison? Like prison make the prison, or was the guards that make the prison? At that time was
the guards.
Okay.
Definitely. But later on, when I experienced it more of these holidays.
Holidays?
Yes, I call that holidays.
Fair enough.
Actually it was, from my side of it. But yeah, they was really bully. You were sleeping down, like I just mentioned it a while ago. And you were just lying down on the bed, rest after lunch, whatever. And this guy just opened the small window at the door there and calling you, hey, hola, come here. So I just woke up, what's going on here? Yes. Can you just give a sign to this guy, wake him up and bring him here? I said, why? Come on, do it. So I just done it. My friend, one of them was a Kaya at that time, all right? I remember like really...
Kaya, that was his name?
Yes, Karel, let's say in Czech language.
Karel, okay.
Karel, come here as well. So he just woke up, go there at the window, and what's going on? Nothing. Go and just wake up this guy, the third one there, or three at the cell. So he done it, and then when he see we all just no sleep anymore, in peace, he walked out like bye. It's just. Yeah, he enjoyed. He really enjoyed.
Yeah, yes.
We called him George Michael at the time.
Okay.
He looked like George Michael.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He did, but he was not behaved like him.
Okay. Yeah. How it looked like a inside in a cell? How many of you were like in a cell? Like
3.
3.
Yeah. The very first day I was actually just by myself. 3 days. After 3 days they remove you. Like to be gathering with the other, But from the very beginning, you just by yourself, you know, you have time to think what you have done. It was terrifying for me, of course. It was first experience. Yes, I was cry if you would like to ask. Yes, I did.
No.
Of course, it was the first night and in jail. Everything just fall on me, you know. It was very difficult for me. Very difficult. My son was outside. My girlfriend was outside. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It wasn't easy. Many things was going on outside. My group of people was outside, you know. I couldn't take care for them and for my family at that time.
That's tough. And
that's the first experience.
And you were drug addict that time.
At that time, it was very tough, you know. I was.
Do you have any access to drugs in prison?
You actually no. You just have access maybe to fewer tablets or anything. They treat you out like this. But depends what kind of drugs you were using outside. If you want only crystal meth at that time, they did not give you anything. All right, nothing at all, because there should not be a physical abstinence in rooms, like, you know.
So they just like, deal with it like that kind of
deal
way.
with it. If you were addicted in heroin and you have abstinence in rooms, like physical ones, then yes, and I was involved at that time into heroin as well. You know.
So you were heroin addict as well?
Yes. Shortly after, actually, after 3 years of taking a crystal meth, I met first time a heroin. And I tried at that time. That was in other house, actually.
You just tried at that time?
I tried, yes.
Okay.
In his house, let's say, yeah.
But you were not like addict on heroin. Your thing was crystal meth.
Main thing was a crystal meth, but I become very quickly addict on heroin. Very quickly.
And when you went to that prison, you were addict on heroin, or?
Yes, I already was.
Okay. How did you get money? And did your wife?
Yes.
That time was addict on heroin as well. So Jana.
The heroin was actually involved later on. Yeah, the main things was just the weed and the crystal meth. But after a few years, we just try, you know, speed. Let's say heroin with speed, with the crystal meth. And then I wanted just to try heroin itself. You know, how it's taste, how it's work, and all this stuff.
Okay.
So I done it. Yeah, and I become quickly very quick. Done, you know, very addictive very quickly.
And you had 2 kids, like small. How were they all that time?
At that time, they were very small. Actually, when I was the first time in prison, was only a Jacob. And the end of the prison, when I actually came out, Jana was born 4 days before, because she was pregnant, 7 months already with the daughter. Saying.
Yes.
So that's what was going on, you know, yeah. So there was a 1 kid, and at the end was straight away a 2nd child there, but I was actually clean at the time when I came out, you know. Yeah, but all the time before on drugs, yes. And became heroin addict as well, yeah.
Before you went to that prison first time, and you were with Jana with 2 kids, how did you get money for heroin? Because you told me you had friends that cook for crystal meth. So crystal meth was kind of solved.
Yes.
But heroin, it's another thing.
That was the other chapter.
And you have 2 kids as well.
Yeah.
With addiction. Ladja, how did you get the money?
Typical ways.
Stealing, right?
Deal with people, you know, many ways. You know, some of the things I'm not really proud of it, and would not even like mention it, you know, to be honest. It was evil things, you know, and I'm not really proud of it. Some of the people, I think, suffer till these days, and that's not good. That's not good. Anyway, it was happened, done, you know.
Yeah.
I was punished, and that's it. We live our lives separately, each of us, and life is going on still. Do you think does it affect the kids when you were on heroin? At that time, yes and no. It's like a little bit complicated. That's me. Me as a personality at that time, I became a bit complicated. You know, when you take lots of drugs, you also deal with the psychical side. side effects. You know, your mood swing and all these things. Yeah.
Yes.
So it was kind of a bit tough for me, you know, to manage. But I did it. And yes, I was there also for my kids. Even I was using the drugs. I was, as every normal father, I was going out with them. I was changing their nappies. I was feed them. I did all these things. I was going to work. Even, you know what I mean? This you can do for some time when you're hard drugs addict like. But then, you know, you just lose the control and, you know, things go wrong.
Yeah. Then you went to prison and you get clean, like you clean your system and everything. For how long have you been in that prison?
For first time was only 7 months.
7 months.
Yes. At that time. Yeah.
And you get out from prison and you are back with Simona, or you met somebody else?
Actually, I was back to Jana still, but you know, between the time things was happened from her side, and I just don't like to mention it in front of everyone, you know, that's the person who need to deal with this, now me. And you know, I think everyone can imagine anyway.
Yeah. Just for the people, Simona, that will be his second wife when he went from prison as a free man. And more to it, there was another twist, how she invited him and gave him a welcome gift. Okay, so describe, you went back to Jana and you break up with her, and then you start another chapter of your life and you went with Simona.
Yes.
How she welcomed you like on freedom? Tell me the memory. Tell us like.
All right. I'm not sure if I should. You know, many other people will see it, but you know what? I'm going into it. And here we go.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
At that time, I remember I came out of prison. And I came actually to my mom's house at the time, you know, and she used to live in Stráž pod Ralskem at the time. It's around Česká Lípa in Czech Republic.
Okay.
It's just a different district, all right? Not in Teplice, but this was in Česká Lípa, all right? Because the past was behind me. I came back to my ex. My ex have some problems in her own life, so... and it doesn't fit. We couldn't live together. She doesn't wish anymore, let's say. And I was agreeing, all right? Something was happened between two of us, and that was the end of the relationship, to be honest. I didn't wish. It was against my will because there was a kids, you know, at the time.
You didn't want...
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't want this. I wanted to always keep the family together, you know. I'm a kind of, even I was so rebellious and all these things, I was still a Roma person. And family, in our eyes, is something very important.
Of course,
you know?
of course.
Family and kids is important in our lives. And first of all, so it was difficult for me. I won't lie, you know, it was just difficult. I was broken, all right? But things are happening and people are free to decide, you know. So I let her decide, you know. So let's say she decided for two of us, all right, at the time. And for the kids as well, of course.
Yes.
After a few years, we were all together as a family, you know what I mean? Yeah, things happen. I can't turn time back, you know. But the second time I came out from prison, my kids was living actually still in Teplice with their mother. And I came out to my mother's house. She was supporting me, you know, at the time when I came out the second time, which was after 7 months from the first one, because I break.
So you went to prison 7 months, then you had 7 months on freedom.
Let's say yes.
Yeah, and you went again, and this is where you met Jana. Jana, her name? Simona, your second wife. That you have your son.
Yes.
Okay. How did she welcome you? Like? Yeah, Simona, correct?
Oh yeah, Simon. At that time, she just.
And you were clean. You had no problems.
drugs,
You
no
didn't
drugs,
think about drugs, correct?
No. Yeah, I was clean.
Okay.
Pretty clean, like, and I was decided to not continue on this. You know, I wanted just a different life, just a different chapter. You know, in my life. I was received everything in my mind, and I just said, enough is enough, and I start just a different chapter in my life now. So after I came out of prison, she welcomed me like wild. I didn't know her at that time, but my mother did, and we were in disco. The first very night I came out of prison.
Nightclub, like.
Yes, nightclub. It's called Sečko at the time, you know.
Yeah.
It's funny name in Czech language, by the way. And
by the way, Sečko is numbers. It's a letter C.
C. Sečko.
That's it.
It was actually at the same time and in the same town, and a small nightclub. She used to work there as a waiter, and I met her over there. My mother actually not even introduced me to her, but she was actually the reason I met her, you know, my mother.
Okay.
Yeah. So she introduced herself as a smart woman, but yeah, at that time she welcomed me with the hard drugs.
What kind of
crystal meth?
With crystal meth.
She took me from the very disco, you know, into the different area of there.
No, slowly. So she welcomed you with crystal meth, and let's just go slowly over it, like, man. Like,
You want to know everything.
yeah, but like how she welcomed you, how it looked like, just. Okay, I take a deep breath, and you describe me like how that looked like.
How that look like?
Yeah. Describe the situation.
Wow.
Really?
I was really decided to not do these things. Yeah. I just came to, you know, enjoy it. You know, I'm out of prison. You know, freedom, and you know, enjoy myself.
Yes.
And she just appeared there as a worker. You know, behind there, give him a beer, all this stuff. And she was nice. You know.
She was a waiter or bar?
Waiter and then the bar as well.
Okay, so she worked in the bar that time. She was a bar lady or / later waiter. Okay.
Yes.
So we spoke about this. Like we had a pre-talk, so you guys will not have a kind of like a mess. Just say it, man. Just say it. Just say it, man. we have to like act like, man, like, you know.
Yeah. She was beautiful. Yeah. She was like smart, you know. She was really intense, you know. She was good. And at the time, long time I have no woman, man. So you know, I came just out of prison.
Okay.
So it was an angel in front of me, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And this angel changed a little bit the face, but still, you know, I said yes. So, yes, she took me beside the room after the night.
Okay.
And involved me to be a, you know.
What do you mean involve?
It's difficult to say, you know. She just gave me a crystal meth in front of me, you know, straight on the face.
She gave you a line?
Yes. No, one, all right?
Okay, she gave you old-fashioned line.
Yes.
What a fancy date!
Wow.
That was your first date?
With her, yeah.
So on the first date, she gave you a line?
Yes.
Okay.
She did, yeah. She just did it.
Romantic.
Isn't it? Yeah, I was saying for myself this thing. Really romantic, very romantic. Yeah, I said yes. I didn't think long, you know. I saw her. I saw it. I said, come on, man. I'm not taking this thing, you know? And the other side of me, come on, man. All night is in front of you. Look at this woman. This is small thing. You can sort it up, you know? And I done it.
You are, again, addict.
Yeah.
And you have one son with her. And was she addicted? Like, how long you were together?
We were together around 4 years.
4 years.
And she became pregnant after 2
After 2 years?
Yeah, so, yeah. We were living in this town, small town, Stráž pod Ralskem, and
It's near Teplice?
it's actually around 100 kilometers from Teplice.
Okay.
Or let's say 80, 100, yeah?
80.
Yeah. And was everything okay, kind of, you know? We were just together, living together even, you know, once we're living in her grandma, you know, house, and then we were living together, you know, even we'll grow up our son. But the drug scene was still there, and we were still taking stuff.
Together?
Together, yeah. Sadly, yeah.
For how long?
Let's say for these 2 years, 2.5, let's say together. Because, you know, it wasn't just about me, it was about two of us. You know, when we were young and
how old
not
were you
really
that time?
smart, you know. At that time, to be honest with you, not sure how old I was, but it was 2004, like, you know. 2000 and till 2008, like, you know. And then I just left.
Did you have free crystal meth still, or your contacts?
After I came out of prison, my contacts were gone because I moved to different district. So there was a different people, you know, different sort of kind of groups, you know, was formating around me. So actually the group and everything I was joining was left, you know. All this, my previous life was left, you know, behind me.
Okay.
So I was just continue this, you know, just to survive somehow. You know.
How did you manage to get money that time?
From the
When
beginning.
you were like with your second wife? Jana, her name?
Simona.
Simona.
Yeah,
Simona.
yeah. So at that time, it wasn't really good. There was no job around. You know, I was trying to get something, but it was very difficult to get something. Even, you know, people knew you were in prison.
Yes.
So it was very difficult to get some job around, you know, very difficult. So I was without job these 2 years, I think. I was just trying to find something, you know, the social was supporting me at the time.
So you were like on some government payments?
At the time, yes. Yeah. That's the truth.
And the difficulty of getting a job with your criminal records,
Yes.
they kind of like you have it in a paper, or
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, it's in your history, like, you know, documents.
it's in your working history?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If they actually accept you into some kind of job, they knew it. You were in prison straight away. They will deal with it or they just refuse, which mostly happened.
That's really difficult.
Yes. It was happening all the time, to be honest.
Yeah. And
Plus, I was a Roma member, guy, you know what I mean?
you are ethnic Roma.
Ethnic Roma, you know, so it's twice more difficult in Czech Republic. Even if you're born over there, whatever. It's not easy.
I see. And you had son after 2 years of relationship, and
Yeah. We actually found out that Simona is pregnant, and I was happy about it. You know, very happy. And Vladia was born, my son. You know, I remember the day I was going to hospital to see him. You know, she was up here with him in the basket, kind of. You know, she bring him from shop.
what, in a basket? He was
Yeah,
in
in
a basket?
hospital, like when I was visiting, you know, at that day.
What do you mean, like a shop? He was in a shopping basket?
Yeah, I took two of my friends, you know, some Lucas and Oliver. I took them with me, and we were drinking on the way. All these, you know, my son born, you know.
Yeah, oh yeah, like, you know.
Yes, and
Like a proper Eastern European stuff.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I was happy really about it, and that I'm father, like, you know, again, and all these things. So yeah, I remember that day when they brought him in front of me. Yes, he was very similar to me.
Ladia,
He looked like me.
I know he does. Ladia, I just wanna came to the point that you told me your wife that time, Simona, or girlfriend, how to put it? she didn't take care of her son and you raised him for some time on your own.
Yes.
And you are dealing with the addiction as well.
Yes.
I know this will be difficult. Let's do
Yes.
it. Describe the situation.
You know, thank God that maybe only a few people know, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's still reality. That was happened. And look, I do really embarrassed for the times, you know, especially in front of my...
Say that again.
I really embarrassed.
You were embarrassed.
I do embarrassed for the times, you know, what was happened.
Oh yeah,
you know?
I get it.
Especially in front of my family, you know, members. Of course, the kids was actually left behind, you know, like this, at that time, in this way. Let's say, put it like this. I was, for example, at home with my son, and at that time my girlfriend was kind of free mind, you know. She was just, when she used the drugs, she wanted just to fly around and you know, to be free, right? Kind of.
She was continuously doing the drugs.
Yes.
She had an addiction.
Very, very strongly.
She was heavy in it.
Independent, yes.
And she went out and...
No, that was actually like this, that I was the first one who wanted to finish this with the drugs, yeah, because I already did stop once in prison, and I just didn't want to deal with it. You know, I saw the consequences. I saw the destructions of our, you know, the destructions in our family.
Yes.
I saw how everything's become bad, simply bad, you know, no good at all. Fighting involved, you know, all these things. Because of jealousy, of course. And, you know, if your girlfriend running at 3 o'clock in the morning outside somewhere with other guys, you will be nervous. At home with the child. Feed him alone, change nappies, stay there with him. You know what I mean? As a man on drugs.
And you were addicted. You were on drugs with your son at home and your girlfriend that time.
And his grandma.
And his grandma.
Yeah.
Your mother or?
Her mother. Her grandma.
Her grandma.
Yeah.
Okay. You are with her mom. Alone. On drugs.
Yes.
And she was
in the same house.
In the same house. And she was your wife that time, or
a girlfriend.
She was with other guys, males.
Yes.
Males outside doing whatever she wants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For how long? For how long you were stuck in this?
Oh my gosh. That was, thank God, at the end, kind of, you know, of our relationship, let's say, at the time. It was actually last few months before we separate.
And how old was your son?
At the time?
You changed the nappies.
When we were very small. You were like around a year or something. He was very small, and even less, you know, I remember even less. He was really small. He was still need a bottle, you know, all these things. He was very small. We saw each other when he was 4 years old. And he visited me actually later on in Teen Challenge.
We will come to that, but you were feeding him when on drugs in apartment or?
Yes, we were living in apartment, and it was actually a good house, you know, nothing, you know, everything good.
It was the house was good. It was just your situation.
Yeah, just the situation was like messed up, you know. Yeah, exactly. We get good opportunity to start to live, you know. But the drugs bring destructions, really big destruction into our life. You know, childhood was actually destroyed to this small boy, you know. He went through difficulties, you know, because from my opinion, nothing was stable around him, you know.
Well, and you went to Teen Challenge, and before you went to Teen Challenge, and you...
I decided actually to stop this.
Did you...
I decided to stop taking the drugs.
How? Prison help, or you went to Teen Challenge?
That was actually before.
Before you wanna...
That was actually before the prison, okay? I just, let's say the second time I was in prison, yeah?
Well, you had a son and you were in your apartment feeding him alone on drugs, and your girlfriend was outside, and then you went to prison again.
Yes, by the way, it was the same time actually we were continuing the drugs career, and everything. On that way, I have very difficult life with her because she previously lived with the policeman, you know, at the time, man.
He was a cop.
And he made total hell from my life, though, all the time. I move anywhere or something, that was just top of it, you know.
Yeah.
All these situations was much more difficult because this guy made hell to my life. Everywhere I was moved, he was chasing me and all this stuff.
Jealous, like?
Jealous, make it really, really hell. He was a stupid man. Thank God he's dead.
He's dead?
He's dead, yeah.
He passed away?
Yeah.
Well.
Suddenly, yeah.
Okay. And you went to prison from your son, and he was, how old was your son?
At that time, he was around 2 years.
And you went to prison for how long?
18 months.
How that goes and where?
That was actually, they bring me to Liberec in Czech Republic, the different district.
Is it tough prison?
Not really, this one, yeah. This Liberec one, it was Rinovice, called in Czech Rinovice, this prison. It was actually for, let's say, medium, you know,
medium security prison?
Yes.
Okay.
It was a class A, class B, and class C, and C, D extra, like, you know. There was an A that you were free, you could watch TV anytime, whatever. Then class B, you could watch like just news, you know, and then go away from the culture and room in the prison. And there was also prisoners who couldn't move even from the cell, like, you know.
That was like really hard
class C, D, you know.
Extremely dangerous, or?
Yes.
And you were with them?
I was in class C at that time.
And you were?
Because I was a recidivist at the time.
So you were with the guys that are like...
Tough guys.
Really tough guys for...
No, of course, there was tough guys. On top of that, they removed me from this type of prison to the worst one.
The worst one?
Yes, it's called Valdice.
You are one of the heaviest prison in Czech Republic. That's in Valdice, there is like hitmen's, murders, and all these people.
Yes.
Like I don't want to mention any names, but it's a really prison for hitmen.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yes. It was a joke.
All people from Czechoslovakia that time, hitmen, and you were with them.
With them, yes, exactly, man. Yes, I didn't even realize from the very beginning, you know, but yes, it was tough.
Have you spoke to any hitman or?
Yes.
Yeah?
Daily.
Yeah,
you must at the time, you know. You must actually. You were bring to.
And that was in Valdice prison.
Actually, first, let's say 3 months, I was in this Rinovice, and then because of some health issue of mine, they brought me to different prison, this Valdice, because there was the doctors, you know.
Okay.
In this prison, the doctors wasn't 24 hours, like, but in this type of prison.
And you weren't there just not because you were extremely dangerous, but just because they had a better health care in that prison.
Yes, exactly.
Correct?
Yes.
Damn.
I slept there. I remember that day. I was on night. I was sick. I was actually separated from all of these other guys in a different room because I was ill. And there was one guards came up and like tried to talk to me. It was a woman, by the way. And she said to prepare that I'm going to have they're going to bring me to other prison.
Okay.
I said, wait, they said, yeah, you're moving. I said, without my decision? Yeah, of course. And I said, where? And when they told me like I'm going to Valdice, oh my God, you know, I did everything to not, you know, I was just really worried.
Vladja, describe how is it inside Valdice, the system there, and how the prisoners behave.
Wow. The first day when they bring you there, it's called Konirna. It's a very, very dark, big room. Very, very cold. Very cold. There's no sun. Don't count with diesel or air or anything. There is a small little window like.
And it's old prison, right?
Sorry?
Valdice, it's old prison.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's just, by the way, in Děčín.
Děčín. Okay. Describe how is it. Keep going.
Děčín, ale it was a very dark place. There was really tough guys. No one was really tough, like, you know, at the beginning. It was just scary, very scary. You know, if you know that there are murders, people, and all this, you're scared. You don't know what to expect, you know. You don't know. And if you go sleep, you sleep with the one eye open, you know. It's just like this. And it's always changed, you know. People are leaving, people are new, you know, coming in. So you see kind of lots of people, you know, and you're worried for life, and you're worried if you will come out anytime, you know, in future, because you're not sure. You're not sure. And after this experience in this room at the beginning, they brought us in different part in this jail, and telling you, it was unexpectedly quiet there. Like, you know, these guys was very okay. Unexpectedly, they wasn't that bad, you know. There was a stupid guys among them as well, but that was end up with fight, mostly hidden, of course, because there was a camera system in the corridors and everywhere.
There were fights?
Of course. Many fights, secret fights, let's say.
And where these fights or problem solving, let's call it, was
We sorted out in the room, in the cell, you know. There was one guy who was staying outside the door and watch, you know, the guys not around, and these two guys or three guys fight in the room, and then when it's done, they just come out and go to the, you know, bathroom, a little bit, rinse the, you know, with the cold water, and that's it.
Cold water.
It's finished.
So So for example, there is a person doing his own stuff.
Yes.
And he get jumped by three guys.
Yeah, it can happen. Yeah. Yes. It can happen. Yeah. If you try to be a tough guy, especially at the beginning, when you come in, they will pick you up. Like, of course, you will need to prove.
Yes.
If you come as a normal guy, you should have no problems, you know. But if they see you're scared or whatever, they try you, of course. They try you, what kind of person you are.
Okay. And that happened a lot of times.
Of course. Everyone tried me, you know, all my life. So I get used to it. It wasn't kind of, you know, before I sit in prison already, so I got some experience. But still, it was still difficult, you know.
How did you make money? Because you're from poor backgrounds, and sometimes your mother cannot send you stuff you need. How did you make money in prison economy?
Inside the prison, there is many ways you can do money, all right? It began with borrowing as papers for cigarettes, like, okay? Or a stamp for later. You borrow one, you take back 2 or 3, all right? 1 week time, let's say, yeah? If this guy have visitors or whatever, they have to, you know, support him, and then you give it back. So that's how you get more stuff, and then you deal with it. You're selling around stuff, you buy, you sell, whatever, you know. Also, things as a phones was there, you know. I just not going to describe everything, of course.
Of course.
But, you know, basic guys who get normally phone, you know, cell phone.
They had a cell phone.
Yes, and that's how you make money as well. You know, you borrow the phone to the people, you know, they're very happy, and they give you stuff for that.
For the use.
Or drugs sell there, you know, whatever. There's many type of peoples
it's just kind of like scary that some of their people inside that prison were hitmans, and they had connection with outside world. They could call somebody, order his friends.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, you could simply destroy your family outside, for example.
Yeah, and he was sitting in a prison.
Yeah. Yes, those
Like,
type of
because,
people. Yes.
and you were around them, which is kind of like scary thing.
It is. You are scared all the time over there. You know what I mean? That's the main things. You don't know what's come next. Who is who? Because only in prison you're going to really recognize who is who. Outside, nah, it's easy. Everyone have a mask, you know, and you are who you want to be. But in prison, you eat with the person. You see him use the toilet. You see him sleep. You see him listen to music or whatever. You see him to do everything. Write in the letters how he react for that or this. You know, he has to be himself.
Yes.
So anytime, you know, if he is like greedy or not, how he sort out, you know, situations, if he's clean or dirty or whatever, who his personality is. That's, I think, the prison.
You are
It's only the place you really
talking about
recognize.
Did you make any, I know it's unexpected, but did you make any friends or did you meet any good people in prison?
Yes. There was a few good people and they still friends, you know.
And you met in prison?
I met them even after the prison. Yeah. But not no anymore, no any longer, like, you know. It was just shortly after I came out. Yeah.
Okay. And you went out, basically you get out of prison from Valdice, and you went to Teen Challenge. Tell me, what's Teen Challenge? Or tell our audience.
Actually,
what is that?
When I was still in prison, by the way, this Simona was visiting me with my son, Láďa, from Stráž pod Ralskem.
Okay.
This in Valdice, and yeah, once a month they visit me. I saw my son, and I saw her. Sometimes my father came with her, whatever, like, you know, my family members. So, and if I did deserve to have a visitors, because you could have some such of behaving which not allowed you then.
So you have to behave for your visits.
You have to follow the rules, and if you're not, they take something off you. All right. For example, visitors, you're not able to see them, all right, or you can't go outside or whatever, you know, for a while, you know, outside on the fresh air. You know, you have the right for half an hour every day.
It's a really punishment.
It is. And imagine it's a summer. It's like 30 degrees and you're sitting in a cell. It's terrifying. Life's going on outside, just behind the wall, you know? You can hear even cars going on and stuff. You feel the life outside, but you can't touch.
It's like two different worlds,
yes,
right?
Totally. A different part of brain is switched on when you come into the prison.
So when you are in a prison, you are like on survival mode, like a...
Kind of, yeah. Survival mode is activated in your brain. When you come such of places like a prison, you have to survive. Because if you take things like you taking outside, normally you react the same way. It's no work. It's no work. You're lost. They have a different language there.
Okay. You went to Teen Challenge after you finished your sentence in...
Yes, when I came out of the prison, we were actually still kind of continue, you know, this previous life, in our previous life for a while. But, you know, I wished to finish this drugs career. I wanted just our life. I just wanted to grow up my son and to live normal.
Like you want to raise your son?
Yes, that's what I wish, because previously I saw, you know, the first son and my daughter. I just visiting them, you know, bring them a sweets, take them out and all this stuff, but I didn't spend really time with them, just sometimes. And when I had Láďa, it reminded me of this. And I just didn't want to do such of mistakes all my life, you know. I just wanted to keep a family,
yes,
and to live normal, to end up this madness. But she did not see this same way, and she were continuing it. So I didn't have any opportunity to do so. I was asking her parents for help and everything. At that time, I remember, man, doesn't help.
You scream for help?
A lot.
Why did you wanna, just for your...
I was crying in front of her, bro.
I know, but...
openly. It doesn't touch her. She was out on drugs, like any other guy or woman. You know what I mean? Just out, blank. You know, such a drugs, it's some mind-playing drugs, you know?
You see you had 2 kids from before, and you don't want to see that happen again.
Exactly.
And for how long you are there for your son?
So I was there 4 years, yeah? But between
No,
the time
since
I went
you
to
get out to prison and...
Oh, how long after that?
After that, yeah.
To be honest with you, not really long. Because her parents at the time, they tried to support her, and they took her to their own house with the son. So I have very difficulty to access or whatever. Her father even tried to shoot me off with the gun. All right.
He tried to kill you?
Yeah.
Well, what kind of gun? AK or...
I'm not sure if it was AK, but at that time she mentioned he got a gun at home, and it was a long
Rifle?
He pointing at me at the time when I was up here in front of the house to see my son over the bridge, let's say. Yeah, it was very difficult, you know, at that time. Very difficult. It wasn't easy, simply. Plus my situation was altogether difficult. I came out, no work, nothing, you know. But I decided to let someone help me because I was not powerful. No power enough to stop this madness. So I decided to go to Team Challenge. At that time, one pastor, his name is Karel Kuds.
Karel Kuds?
Yes. He actually at the time supported me a lot. He organized this Team Challenge for me and find a way for me to, you know, out of this madness.
How did you meet Karel Kuds?
I met him because I knew one other pastor from Teplice, and he was his friend.
So you knew him before?
Of his other friend, through a different pastor, you know. Again, he just showed me this other guy living in the other town.
Yeah.
So we become friends, you know, as well. He was very good friend to me at the time, and he showed me the right path, you know, and I just try to, since there, I'm trying to catch in it like this, you know, to be just a follower.
He was
of this.
We spoke, and I know you for long, and he was that guy he was old man that time, right? And you always speak of him as a good example of yours.
Yes.
How he did help you? Like describe, like tell a bit of his story.
I remember days when actually I was in the house and I was weeping out to God. I was desperately lost. You can just imagine bottles everywhere in the house, you know, beers, vodka, rooms, all these spirits, alcohol and shit, let's say. It's just, and lots of drugs, of marijuana, all these things was in the house. And I was just desperately lost. I just couldn't continue. All this just went over me, you know, my son, pain over him, and all these things just trashed me, you know, and I was weeping to God and asking for help at that time. At that day, I remember like today. He just walked in like Jesus. The door was locked. I can swear to God, to these days. I don't know how he get in, but he find me just middle in the room, lying down between all this mess, weeping out and cry out to God. He just gave me his hand. He lifted me up. It's strong, by the way. And he took me out of this. He took me to his house. And I was there over a week, just getting out of this alcoholism and all these things. Shaken out, sick, all these things. He went through with me. And then he organized this Team Challenge. By the way, who did create this is David Wilkerson, which his services in all world. Generally, he created Teen Challenge in each of the countries, even in Ireland here, England, Czech Republic, Slovakia, everywhere. So I've been there. I decided to go there, so he helped me to go there. He even paid this for me. You will need to pay around 2,000 or 3,000, and he did pay every month for me. This old man, over 8 years old, cancer, ill, cycling for me over 2 months of a day to see me. I remember his names when he said, "Oh, Vlad, you know, God put yourself into my heart to be here for you and talk to you and all this, serve you." Later on, I did realize what all actually God did in these times for me, and I'm thankful, you know. Maybe I won't be able to sit here today and talk to you.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm still sometimes I'm speechless, but I have to talk. Just after Teen Challenge, you went to Ireland, right?
Yes. I decided actually when I was finishing in Teen Challenge to have another chapter in my life, to just help myself somehow, to change everything. Just, you know, just to find myself and save the past. That somehow I will get my kids and live with them. That was my kind of dream, to have my family together, all the kids together beside me.
And you came to Ireland what year?
I came to Ireland to start to live again.
In what year?
My mother actually supported me.
Yes.
She left into Ireland. Means time I was in prison and all these things with her new boyfriend. And after that, she just supported me. And she took me into her house in Ireland, here in Ireland. And for 1 or 2 months, she supported me like that. And I found a job. I started build my life up quickly. No drugs. Yeah. There was maybe some drinking at the beginning and maybe smoking some weed or whatever, but I end up this lifestyle of drinking and stuff, like, you know. After some time, I found job, I had house, I had my first girlfriend here, you know, in Ireland, which it wasn't from Ireland, but that's no matter. That's other chapters, maybe for another times, you know.
Okay, you had girlfriends and you had girlfriends after her, and then you met your wife. What's her name and how many kids?
Okay, we go into it, right. Her name was Ingrid and is Ingrid. Yeah, she was from Czech Republic. We met here in Ireland. That's how I met my wife, through my cousin Peter. Her sister knew this my future wife at that time. We met as a family, you know, through my cousin and stuff, and I liked her and she liked me, you know, from very beginning. Yeah. After some time, we lived together already, and we moved from one town to the other town, and we were together 10 nice, beautiful years.
Just gonna close it. You are not with your wife, and you are constantly visiting your kids, and your kids are visiting you. You have
they're visiting me.
Yeah, you have an amazing relationship. Well, let's close this. I think we spoke enough about your darker history. And I can see right now you are on better path and you are doing well. You start exercise.
Thank God.
You have a work.
Yes, all these things.
Is there, let's say if somebody is listening, let's say in a couple of years, let's say your son or one of your kids, you want to tell him something?
I knew this will come. But let's say yes. I maybe wasn't there when it was neat. couldn't. Nothing is like it was everything before. I was living in different world, in different times. It was tough. All these brought me on the dark way and away from you. And I can't turn time back. I accept my sorry from my heart because I still love you, I love you. That's all I can say. And I'm here for you still. Love you and forgive me. That's all I can say.
So, my name is Simon Konia, and that was a Ladislav's Olach story.
Thanks.